Alrighty. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Frying Pan Podcast. It is me, your host, Daniel, and I'm here with my co-host. I'm actually just kidding, it's just me today. Yeah. On a strange turn of events, my near and dear friend Robert Onofrio is actually in Maine at the moment. We wanted to try and record something earlier in the week, but we just couldn't get the times to line up, so it's just me today. All you get is me. I hope you're okay with that. I mean, I've never obviously done anything like this before, but I guess we're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out, I guess? I don't know. Just let me know if I'm doing a good job. If I'm not, you can tell me I'm not. But, we normally start with how we're doing. Let me see. On Saturday, the boys, we all went camping, but this time at a campground and not 3,000 feet in the air on a mountain because we decided, hey, let's be a little more sane this time. Think it through a bit. So we went to a campground. It was nice. Went for a nice long hike. Had a great view at the top. Camping's so weird with the amount of people you see. Not like how many people are, but like the type of people you see, because it ranges like race, age, type of people, like all that. It's just very vast, I would say. But anyways, we went camping, had a great time. We had a lot of s'mores, which is, I mean, obviously, like, yeah, you go camping, you make s'mores, but let's just say, our good friend Jordan came through with enough s'mores to probably feed probably like a second world country. Screw a third world. That man was prepared, and I respect that. But yeah, s'mores on deck. We had some hot dogs. That was a good time. Our good friend Nathaniel, he brought some what were they? They were like a very specific sausage that I'm really blanking on the name right now, and it's gonna haunt me until I die. But we'll worry about that another day. But that was nice. We're chilling, maybe having a few brewskis legally, we're good. And when it gets to night, well, first off, our friend was going to bring like an 12-man tent. Turns out, nah, it's only a 4-man tent. So, and we had 7 people, so 3 of us had to sleep in the car, which probably, people who slept in the car, probably better because a bear just happened to stroll by the campsite and fuck with the trash. Now, I know what you're thinking, hey man, don't keep your trash out, that's dumb. And to that I say, yeah, I'm with it, I agree. But at the same time, we didn't think there would be a bear at a fucking campground, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, well, I guess we were kind of on the edge, so it made sense that I'd go to us if anything. But regardless, it was a great time, and I love my friends. And before that, our friend Benjamin, who is in Missouri, he lives in Missouri, he flew up for the week to see us for the very first time in our, 6 years of knowing him. So that was nice. He stayed with me. We had a great time. But let me tell you something. It made me realize how little energy I have with people. Because sometimes you do just because we like to do a lot of bits. We like to just make fun of each other, shoot the shit. But there was a couple of times at night where I was just not having it. And I could not keep up with the kid. But that's my problem. That's fine. We still had a great time. I was very happy to see him, and I hope I see him again. But he came on that trip. He got a little under the influence, some may say, and let me tell you, that man could have probably eaten the bear if he saw it and killed it. That man ate everything we had. He did not stop, and he was never full. It was honestly alarming. But he didn't throw up, thankfully. That was the major concern, was that I thought he was going to just throw up. But he was good. But yeah, good trip, good times with the friends. That's what you like to see. Also, regarding this episode, it's probably going to be a little shorter. I'm probably around the 30-40 minute mark, just because, I haven't done this before. I haven't been one to just kind of it's just me chit-chatting to the young and few out there. But it's easier when you have someone to bounce your ideas back off. But we'll do our best. Like I said, you're gonna let me know how I did. You're gonna let me know in the comments. You can hit me on Twitter or Instagram, or you can pop by the stream, twitch.tv/iMadoa lol. It's where you gotta be, the hot place to be. And yeah, just let me know how I did. feedback would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Yeah, it didn't do much, so we're just gonna jump into some topics because it's been a very interesting week. To start it off, I got a couple. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with the most lighthearted one. Is that a petition got started to raid Area 51, and that petition, as of Tuesday, is chilling at 500,000 signatures, just casually. And I think this is like the biggest involvement everyone has had on like a meme, because it's kind of crazy to see 500,000 people say they're going to raid Area 51. Now, will 500,000 people show up to raid Area 51? No, not in the slightest. I pray no, not in the slightest. I imagine fucking like maybe 5 people in snapbacks and I don't know, just some rad skater dudes probably will pop up, and that'll be it. But it's very alarming, I guess, how much people get involved on this shit. But at the same time, it's like, cool, why not? But as for me personally, I did not sign the petition, first off, and I don't think I'd participate in a raid. But let me tell you, it has spawned some great images, as in they're I don't know if I can say great. Well, they were great. I'd say tired at this point. But a lot of me entering Area 51 in a Honda Civic and me leaving in like a Banshee from Halo. If you get that reference, good on you. If you don't, just know it's like alien dune buggy kind of deal. You'll get it. You're smart out there. I know you guys. You're smart kids. But yeah, a lot of that. A lot of I'm gonna take my alien home, and it's also like kind of makes you think like, what is an Area 51? Or do you think Area 51 is just kind of like a fake place, and they actually have like the real holding ground all aliens and all that cool jazz, and just like a random place in the middle of the desert? And like in a different desert, not like in the same place, because that would kind of defeat the purpose. That's how I'm feeling, is that Area 51's a big old kind of cover up, and they're like, oh, you don't know what goes on in there. Freaky stuff. But they're like, yeah, freaky stuff goes on, just not there. Maybe? I don't know. Only one way to find out. So if you're interested on that, yeah, sign the petition. Go, you can, I keep like stopping myself because I keep thinking of other things to say, but there's a news outlet that covered it, and they said, or they quoted a tweet that said, we will Naruto run faster than the bullets can hit us, which is just beautiful. That is probably, you could put that on my tombstone, or I might just get that like tattooed across my forehead. So that's a beautiful saying. That's a beautiful sentence that everybody should be aware of. It's actually just sad. That's what it comes down to. Is it's sad and tired at this point. This thing has only been a meme for like probably like a week at most, maybe. It hit its peak and is now descending at a very rapid pace. It's like Bizarro at Six Flags, except for you kind of don't really get the enjoyment of going down. You're just plummeting. No, it's like, I guess basically just like skydiving without a parachute, which, probably is fun some way, shape, or form. But when you hit the ground, it's not the best, believe it or not. But anyways, yeah. Go get in on the raid, guys. Come on. I want to hear feedback. I want to hear what people bring back. If they bring back an alien, cool. What are you going to do with it? Are you just going to try and like adjust him to society? Is he just going to learn the ins and outs of the world? I don't know. I guess it's all perspective on how you want to go about it. The one thing that could be alarming though is if, well, that's the thing. Like, imagine like Area 51 has no idea any of this is going on, and then like 10,000 fucking kids come tumbling down the hill, and they're just like, what do we do? And I don't know if they'd have a plan for that, would they? Or do you think like maybe they got military lined up guarding it? Because I don't know if it was true, but I guess like the date was like mid-December, or not December, September. So maybe I'll update you when time comes around, or when there's a news article of like, kids get shot trying to enter Area 51 because that was a good idea. Yeah, sure, why not? But I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. I'll keep you guys updated. Just a nice little meme watch with your boy. We just, doing our best out here to really keep the kids updated on what's going on. And for the adults that listen, they're you're trying to relate to your little boy, your little girl, trying to see what the hot memes are that you can, relate to them with. Kids still love the dab. Kids still love Fortnite, so don't be worried. That still works. Kids still love that. But yeah, stay up to date on your memes. That'll you'll go far, I guess. Probably not. Don't take my advice. It's fine. It's fine. All right. Next topic. This one's a little more serious. This one was kind of interesting to me, but Scarlett Johansson, she made some comments that she as an actress should be allowed to play whatever person, race, or tree that she wants. Because a lot of she got a lot of backlash because she didn't accept a role as a transgender man in a movie, and then she also starred as a Japanese woman in the adaptation of Ghost in the Shell, and it's interesting because she says she's all for like diversity in roles because roles are mainly like cisgender Caucasian, yada yada, all that jazz, which like it is, depending on what movie, but like the majority of like big box office movies are just like, white people. Because white people. But anyways, she got a lot of backlash for that, and in an interview she was like, it's my job to do what I want, and I agree with that. But I don't think it's her, because a lot of people are getting mad over she turned down the role as a transgender man, but she accepted being a Japanese woman, and it's like, she has that freedom to choose whatever role she wants, but I also think it's on the people that are deciding the roles on, hey, maybe we should cast someone who literally matches the description of a transgender man or a Japanese woman and said, Scarlett Johansson's hot, she can do it. Still love you, Scarlett. Don't take it to heart. I know you listen, and I know, like, you're just waiting to get rid of your husband for me. Like, I get it, it's fine. Like, we'll work it out in the future, but as for now, just stick to Black Widow, I guess. Or make that movie come out, because I'm interested. But anyways, she said I should be able to portray whatever I want, and then it was like a few days later, she came out kind of defending herself, because a lot of people were like, no, bitch, doesn't work like that. But I always think, like, you can't really pin it on her. If she sees the script she wants and she has the opportunity to take it, she should. I don't think that's necessarily on her, more or less the people casting. Like, I understand if you're a caster and you can get, like, a not-so-famous Japanese woman to play the lead role, or you can get fucking Scarlett Johansson. You probably want Scarlett Johansson, but if you also want it to be, like, true to the story, more or less, you think you'd go with the right choice there. But, let's see, she said that I recognize that in reality there is a widespread discrepancy amongst my industry that favors Caucasian cisgender actors, and that not every actor has been given the same opportunities that I have been privileged to. I continue to support and always have diversity in every industry, and will continue to fight for projects where everyone is included. Which is, she kind of said the same thing in the first interview of like, I'm all for it, and I'm not saying she isn't, but also, normally, if you get offered this role and you cared so much, you'd be like, hey, I personally don't think I'm a great fit for this role. How about so-and-so or something like that? You know what I mean? But I guess also, when you're getting paid the big bucks for the role, you kind of can't turn it down. Some may say, I don't know, I'm not an actor, nor do I do anything of that nature. Maybe someday, but not today. But anyways, people are still mad about her playing different, all that jazz. I still think Scarlett Johansson is an incredible actress, and I love her. So, I could say I'm a little biased. I don't think she's in the right for taking those roles, but I also don't think it is entirely her fault, I guess. I don't know, I guess I'm just biased. I think it's, like I said, I think it's just on the casting director, more or less, of like, try and find an exact person that would fit this role, whether they be popular or not. If they're a good actor, they'll make it work. And also people will be okay with it. It's just like, imagine, because they're doing the new Mulan, movie, and it's supposed to be not with the Mushu the dragon or all that jazz. It's just kind of like it's kind of like a new thing, essentially. They're making their own movie off of the animated movie. But imagine like they're looking to hire people and they're like, all right, this is a all Chinese movie. Let's get Chris Evans, just like all fucking like all those actors, just like white cisgender actors, and like, all right, yeah, this is gonna be good. People are gonna like this. They'll recognize the names. They'll be excited, and it's like, no, not really. No, I don't think I'd like to see. I forget his name, but I don't think I'd want to see Chris Evans as the dude or one of the three goons. Or I don't know, insert like any, like I wouldn't want to see Natalie Portman as Mulan. I don't know if that was the first one that came to mind, but it was. But I wouldn't want to see her as Mulan or anything of that nature. So I guess it's just, I don't know, you can't win them all, but it definitely, like other genders, other races should definitely be more represented for just main roles in movies, or especially main roles of movies that fit their criteria of, oh, I don't know, being Asian or African American. Who knows? Who's to say, right? Who knows? But anyways, it's just, I don't know. Scarlett Johansson, try just playing a white person, you know? Just try playing a white female. You do pretty good at that. And to my knowledge, you are one. So I would say you have the most knowledge in that role. Do you know how to be a Japanese woman? Maybe. Probably not as well as a Japanese woman, but that's neither here or there, right? I don't know, man. I don't want to get into gender and race too much, but I just want to touch on that because I thought it was interesting. But here's a little quick topic. Do you remember Iggy Azalea? Because I didn't until I saw this, but apparently she makes music again. The last time I saw Iggy Azalea was on like a Postmate ad like a year ago or something. But I didn't know she still made music. I remember she like popped off with that one song, and then she had that one viral thing where she tried to freestyle at a concert, and it sounded like beatboxing, but like beatboxing with some sort of disability. It was just not pretty bad, not good. But I guess she's going on tour, or she's been on tour, and she said her shows will have a twerk pit. Yeah. A twerk pit, like all concerts have. You're going with your family, you're going to that Rascal Flatts concert, you can't wait to hear Life is a Highway, and you just can't wait to get in that twerk pit with all your yeehaw brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like everyone has it, right? Like okay, for example, you guys remember when I went to that Travis Scott concert, and I was digging it. Travis Scott, he jumped into the twerk pit, and he was fucking doing it. He was twerking like there's no tomorrow. And I was like, you go, Travis Scott. You do what you want. Now, I'm trying to think, like, is a twerk pit the equivalent to, like, a mosh pit? And if that were the case, then wouldn't it be just, like, people throwing their asses everywhere, trying to knock people out? Because that's kind of what a mosh pit is, but you're just throwing your body. You're just, like, feeling the music, man, you know? That actually reminds me of the time I was in a mosh pit, and I accidentally almost knocked someone out. I don't know if anyone listening has ever been in a mosh pit, but when you're really feeling the music and everyone's feeling the music, you're just kind of like throwing yourself around, just kind of like swinging your arms and stuff. It's actually a lot of fun. Don't knock it till you try it. I recommend, if you are below average height of everyone that's in that mosh pit, do not get in there or you will get knocked out and people will trample you. I have seen it, and I watched someone just have to get dragged out of the mosh pit and nobody was going to do anything. It was actually terrifying for the person, but I was on the other side and maybe a little inebriated, so I couldn't help. I wish I could have, but I couldn't. But anyways, I remember we're in the mosh pit, we're all throwing ourselves at each other, and I guess accidentally is the word, but like, I'm swinging, I'm throwing haymakers, and I accidentally punched someone in the face, and they blacked out in front of me, and I was like, oh shit, did I do that? And then I was like, oh shit, I did that. But this is 18-year-old me where, I'm not thinking. I guess, I don't know if it's not thinking or just don't care, but I just, stepped over him. It was just like, oh, he did it. I saw it. But, because I imagine everyone's just on shrooms or something. I wasn't, but I imagine everyone was just on some form of hallucinogen and they're just fucking swinging. So if I blame them, they're just like, Probably. I don't remember, man. But like, yeah, I was here. Something like that. 'Cause that's how drugs work, right? You guys get it. I don't have to explain myself. But anyways, being in the twerk pit, I'm just picturing a smorgasbord of ass, I guess. A real humdinger of an event, I'd say. But it'd just be like, I don't. Is she in it? Is the twerk pit like on stage? Is it a mosh pit? Are people throwing themselves at each other, but they're twerking at the same time? When in that case, it's just kind of like a nightclub. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe that's what she's going for. I don't have her contact, so I really can't ask her. Maybe I'll see what she means on Twitter. But she says she's gonna have a twerk pit. So if you want to go to an Iggy Azalea concert, you better practice your twerking in a mirror. Make sure you really got it under wraps. Like you don't want to show up and just like shit the bed, right? You really want to pop off. You really want to show everyone like, hey, I run this shit. I am the king slash queen of the twerk pit. Don't discretion. We don't judge. You can do whatever you want. If you want to hop in that twerk pit and do your thing, do your thing. No one's judging you. It's a free world. Especially in Iggy Azalea's twerk pit. You can do whatever you want. Just love yourself. That's all I gotta say at the end of the day. Didn't really want to go into much on that just because it's this episode's weird. It's very odd. It feels weird to do it by myself, but at the same time, I feel it feels natural, kinda. Like I said, let me know how I'm doing, because I know for a fact I won't be able to make it to an hour, like I said earlier, because I don't think I can buy that much time. I think I'm doing an okay job at it, but like you never know. We're gonna shift to the kind of boring topic, but it's interesting. I just hear me out, okay? Wimbledon, not Wimbledon, Wimbledon with a D. Big tennis tournament. They're all slapping the rackets and shit. There's a couple storylines from here. I know on the women's side, there was a 15-year-old that made it to, I think, the round of 16. And keep in mind, just 15 years old. Now, think back, what were you doing at 15? Don't feel bad about yourself. Don't compare yourself to her. I just want you to think what you were doing at 15. Me personally, I was playing Call of Duty, game battles, like semi-competitive. Not like on a big scale, but I was just like, damn, I love being a fat ass at playing Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure my parents took away my Xbox too, because I only played Call of Duty and neglected schoolwork, so don't be me, kids. Unless, well, I don't know, dude, video games are like taking off, like esports is becoming a big thing, so like if you're really good at a game, hey, run with it. Now I'm not saying, hey, drop out of high school to pursue your dreams of being a professional Call of Duty player, but I'm also not saying to not do it. Just follow your heart. That's what I always say. Just follow your heart. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, 15-year-old woman at Wimbledon. She gets to round of 16, which is insanely impressive. I know for a fact. I don't know. It's amazing because it happens in the Olympics too. Like you'll see 16-year-old gymnastics wins a gold medal, or gymnast rather, and I feel like that's something the parents have to throw them into, right? Or am I off? Because I don't think any kid because they're like, at 15 years old, she has 10 years of experience with tennis, and I'm thinking, what if a 5-year-old picks up tennis over anything else? Well, I guess everyone's got their niche. Everyone knows what they like, but like, the parents definitely get them into it. But I mean, hey, this is what I always tell like my young adult friends that they're like in a serious relationship, might have kids. I always say, get your kid really fucking good at baseball, because the amount of money they can make at baseball, incredible. No salary cap, so if your boy is making a 10 years, $360 million contract, nothing wrong with that. He might slice some bread for ma and pa, or if he neglects you guys, then you can just, I don't know, write an article about him, how he's just like a awful son, and then you'll get someone will support your GoFundMe. I don't know, man. It's just something like that. You just gotta live with it. But anyways, at the end of the day, 15-year-old Wimbledon, get around to 16, very impressive. But then on the men's side, we get to the finals, which was a 5-hour, 68-game slug match between Djokovic and Federer. two of the biggest names in tennis. They're up for the GOAT debate, greatest of all time in their sport. It all depends on who you ask. It's all about perspective. I don't think there's a wrong answer. But yeah, 5 fucking hours straight of tennis. First off, if you can watch tennis for more than like 30 minutes, God bless your soul, because it's so quiet, it's so boring. Actually, I will say tennis is the perfect I want to take a nap, but I don't want to throw something on that I might miss, like TV. Like, I could throw on a movie, but like, oh, I haven't seen this movie yet. Maybe I want to watch it later. I don't want to just sleep through it and waste the time. But if you're slapping on tennis, you're like, they're going to hit the ball back and forth. It's going to be very quiet. There's going to be claps here and there. And like a 15 love. And that's all well and good. That's cool. Like, if you're into tennis, cool. I don't judge you. I think tennis is... I like playing tennis, but watching tennis is honestly very, very boring. It's on par with golf of just like the most boring sports to watch. And baseball. It's like, I like playing baseball. I think, okay, golf is just all around boring. Tennis and baseball are fun to play. But watching is, oh my god. Perfect nap time. But anyways, yeah, they slugged it out for 5 hours, 68 games. A lot of tiebreakers. And I'm not even going to get into the rule set of tennis to where you can play 68 games. It's like, tennis is like, you have a match, but then you have to win a certain amount of games within the match to win it, like sets. And then the tiebreaker rules don't make any fucking sense because they're tennis, they do whatever they want. But, god, dude, could you imagine playing tennis 5 hours? Like, actually just, like, slamming back and forth. Like, yeah, you get to sit down and get your water breaks and stuff, but, like, that'll take a lot out of you. You need so much endurance to not live that long. I hope you don't die playing. But to, like, I don't know, play at a peak level for that long. You know what I mean? It's just very impressive. So, oh, well, might help to add that Djokovic won. So, he has a lot of Grand Slam titles. I'm not going to get too much into it, but the fact that someone can play for 5 hours, or two dudes can play for 5 hours straight is so impressive to me. And the fact that on the women's side, a 15-year-old can make it to the round of 16 already, Jesus Christ, that's impressive. But, God. Anyway, my next topic that I got on the chopping block, I don't know if it's serious or if it's a joke, but I don't know how to pronounce her name. Grimes or Greames? But, I guess I can do she's Elon Musk's girlfriend, yada yada, but I hate doing that because I feel like it's such a shitty way to introduce people. But I don't know her too well. But she said, an Adidas campaign, or she was a part of a new Adidas campaign, and Adidas came to her and was like, hey, what's your workout regimen? And she said, my training is a 360 approach. In the afternoons, I do a 1 to 2 hour sword fighting session with my trainer, James Liu. We go over the fundamentals that work the obliques, core stabilizers, and triceps, as well as a few tricks. To wind down from this, I spend 30 to 45 minutes on an incline hike at roughly 4 to 4.5 miles per hour, arguably the most efficient workout. And to her credit, she's in really good shape, so I wouldn't put this past her. But then we get a little into, like, I don't know. She said, this one's fine, but like, I then spend 45 minutes stretching before heading into the studio where my mind and body are functioning at a peak level with a neuroplastic goal between 57.5 and 71.5 APHCs. Which blood type? I don't know. I'll have to consult the elder gods on that one. She also said, I've outfitted my studio with the highest grade of red light. It is pretty much 1,000 square foot IR sauna. Hannah then comes over and we do screaming session for 20 to 25 minutes while I slow boil the honey tea that maximizes vocal proficiency. That's where it starts to get a little strange, where I can't tell if it's real or fake because rich people do interesting things. And I respect that wholeheartedly, don't get me wrong. But this one really gets me. I have also eliminated all blue light from my vision through an experimental surgery that removes the top film of my eyeball and replaces it with an orange Ultraflex polymer that my friend and I made in the lab this past winter as a means to cure seasonal depression. Now, see, I think that is the nail in the coffin of this is an elaborate scheme of bullshit, which is actually hilarious. I credit her nonetheless, but I just love that we made it in a lab to cure seasonal depression. Seasonal depression fucking sucks, so I'm all for this. When it hits winter, dude, holy moly, I hit just an all-time low, 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 low. Shout out John Bellion. If you get the reference, good on you. If not, tough shit. Sorry. But anyways, yeah. So she did a whole Instagram post where Adidas came at her about her training regimen, and I believe the whole first half, like when she gets to the 45 minutes of stretching, that makes all sense. But then when she gets into the lights and the sauna and the screaming and the removing a layer of the eyeball, that's when it's a little off to me. That's when I'm like, I don't know, hun. I don't know if you did this. If she did, then that's very impressive and kudos to you. But if not, still kudos to you. It's a great story. I would have fell for it. I thought it was very interesting. But I think the line that gets me is that I made this in the lab, and I don't think she has any prior expertise in that type of science and manufacturing. But I could be wrong. And that's the thing, is that I'm like, fuck, this is gonna be right. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll figure it out someday in the future, but I do love it. So shout out to you. I wish I knew how to pronounce anything. I imagine just Grimes, because that's how if elementary school taught me, say it or speak it how you see it, or say it how you see it. And I'm gonna say Grimes. And if it's wrong, you can crucify me. You can do whatever you want. You can call me wrong. You can call me a big old dummy head, and that's fine. I get it. I will stand my ground on this, and that's just who I am. So, shout out to her, and let's see, my last topic, which is great, because normally what I do is I record on Tuesday. Usually, we always record on Tuesdays, but I'm giving you a little behind the scenes. But we try to have all of our topics and titles in by like Sunday night or like Monday morning, and my last one is literally just titled Meth Gators, and I have an NBC News link. Just so, all right, before we get into this, I read the article, and I want you to take a guess where you think meth gators may come from. I'll give you 4 options. Do you think it is A, Florida, B, Florida, C, Tennessee, or D, South Carolina? Now, I'm going to give you a few seconds to think on this, and I want you to scream. You're probably in your car listening to this. I want you to just scream at your radio what you think the answer is, and I'll respond to it eventually. I'm just kind of buying you some time so that you can think about it a little bit more, because I know it might not be what you think. Are you ready? All right, scream it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Tennessee. See, you'd think Florida, because meth gator sounds like a very prominent thing in Florida, but no, only in Florida the people are fucking crazy, but the gators there, they're normal. I think they just eat a kid every once in a while at Disney, and then they get a bad rep, like, oh, it's my fault to eat the kid that jumped into my exhibit. Like, oh, fuck off. Come on. Okay. Not saying it's a good thing the kid died, but hey, natural selection. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, meth gators. Tennessee police warn flushing drugs could create hyper-aggressive alligators, in quotes, meth gators. Now, this all stemmed from the Loretto Police Department. They said this, but an officer, I guess, had a search warrant on a home, and as he stumbled upon the home, he saw that the occupants were trying to flush meth and drugs down the toilet. Now, 2 things. 1, don't do drugs. Well, don't do meth and bad drugs. You can, I don't know. I guess like you can take some Advil when you got a headache. That's a good drug. Not too much though. Don't want to die. But anyways, they're flushing the drugs down the toilet, and the officer, we all know, like, hey, don't flush drugs down the toilet. But I also love the officer made a statement. He says, folks, please don't flush your drugs, okay? The MK is in there, M''KAY. It's right after drugs. So the article's in the description. You can look for yourself. Love that. Please don't flush your drugs, okay? Our sewer guys take great pride in releasing water that is cleaner than what is in the creek, but they are not really prepared for meth. Surprising. You'd think you'd always be ready for meth, right? You always got to be on the edge. You always got to be ready to expect the unexpected. But I guess as a sewer guy, you might not be aware of that since you're chilling in the sewer too much. It's all perspective, you know what I'm saying, guys? You get it. I get it. We all get it. But anyways, he said, ducks, geese, and other fowls frequent our treatment ponds, and we shudder to think what one all hyped up on meth would do. Now, fuck duck and other fowl, a methed up geese could probably take over Tennessee. Geese are the most aggressive motherfuckers I have ever seen in my life, and they are awful. And I'm sure when you slap meth on it, you times that by 10 to where they think they're invincible, to where they're running into the latest like gas station, like holding it up with a gun, and it's like, how did the geese get the gun? And geese is like, shut the fuck up, and you're like, how do you know English? And then he shoots you because he's super aggressive and he's tired of it, and then it's like, geez, all it took was meth to make a super geese. And then he's taking over Tennessee, and there's only one way to stop him, and you just have to nuke Tennessee. And then it's like, you don't want to nuke Tennessee. But anyways, the post warns that meth, it could make its way into Shoal Creek, which they got gators. Oh boy, do they got gators. But he, in quote, he says, furthermore, if it made it far enough, we could create meth gators in Shoal Creek and the Tennessee River down in North Alabama. They've had enough methed up animals the past few weeks without our help, so if you need to dispose of your drugs, just give us a call and we'll make sure they are disposed of, but in a proper way. Subtle yet sweet ending to, hey, come down to the police station, turn yourself in, because I imagine someone on meth will probably just be like, oh good, now I don't have to flush them down the toilet and worry about meth gators. I'll just give it to the officer. I'll get off scotch-free. But little do you know, mind game, now you're in the slammer. You know, it's just something like that. Just don't worry about it. Don't flush your drugs down the toilet. No, rule number 1. But meth gators. Could you imagine a meth gator? Actually, I'm wondering how much meth would it take to make an alligator like super methed up and make like a super croc, to where we get like one of those like shitty sci-fi movies where they combine two animals like a piranhaconda, or they just do like a giant alligator and it's like awfully CGI'd in. I don't think that'll happen. To be fair, I'm not predicting the next sci-fi movie to be like a in real life thing, but I'm also not saying that it's not possible. You know what I mean? Anyways, meth gators. This is the study at hand. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Meth gators is terrifying. Meth gators and meth geese. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Meth geese riding meth gators into battle. That would be like the Great Emu War in Australia that they lost. Sorry, Australia. I don't mean to out you like that, but I know you lost the Great Emu War, which in itself is incredible. But we would also lose the Great Geese Alligator Takeover of 2019. And that in itself is just terrifying. That's the end of an era. That's the end of humanity as we know it, I think. So, I'd say to do our best in keeping everything clean, just don't flush your meth down the toilet. Either, like, don't do meth. I think that is option number 1. But if you want to do meth, just do all the meth. Dude, you can't get rid of it. Meth's expensive. That's like, I go to like a 5-star, like a 3 Michelin star restaurant, and I'm like, yeah, I'll have the beef Wellington, but I don't eat all the beef Wellington. I only eat like a quarter, even though I love it. But I'm like, oh, I'm gonna put it in a takeout box and take it home for later. And it's like, motherfucker, they don't do that. It's the same with meth. Meth and beef Wellington go hand in hand in terms of quality, I'd imagine. Can't say that from experience. Well, okay, I can say it from experience on the beef Wellington side, but not the meth side. I make a mean beef Wellington. Shout out me and my mom. We make a god beef Wellington. Now I want beef Wellington. I don't want meth. It's a good thing that's out of the picture. I'll just flush the meth I have down the toilet. So this is the part of the show where you catch me and you're like, hey Dan, don't flush your meth down. Though we don't have alligators in Connecticut, we'll probably just get more sewer meth heads, and maybe they'll like merge together and we'll get like a super methed out mech, you know what I'm saying? Where they like start jumping on shoulders and they become like one giant entity, which is terrifying, but and then I guess we'd have to combat them with the meth geese and the meth gators. It's just, it's a big fiasco that I don't want to experience firsthand, but in theory it could be funny. I think it's hilarious. I'm not laughing now, but when it actually does happen, I will be on the sidelines laughing my ass off at the fact of that we have methed up animals and people. fighting in a Gundam style as if it's a fucking anime. Because this is the world we live in. It's 2019. Open your eyes, people. God. That's all I got. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I know it's a short episode, and I really wanted to have what our initial plan is. Since Ben was in town, we wanted to have a live episode. But what ended up happening was, Bobby found out that the best day he could go to Maine was on the Monday, and we had our camping trip on that Saturday, and Bobby worked that Friday, so there was no way we could have got him in because Ben came in on the Wednesday. I guess we could have done it Thursday, but it was also like he just flew in. We didn't want to rush him into something, and he's probably tired. And the best day would have been Sunday, but I don't know if you've ever went on a camping trip and woke up at like 6, but primarily you don't want to do anything the next day. I mean, any like sleepover in general, like say you're just like little boyo sleeping over your buddy's house, you don't want to do anything the next day. Like when you get home, you're like, I'm big chilling the rest of the day, right? That's how it felt on the camping trip where we just got home. We all smelled like shit. We all took our showers and we're like, I'm just going to hang out. I don't want to do anything. So what ended up happening, I was just like, hey man, I'll try and do the podcast myself because I wanted to see how I would do by myself in the first place without having someone to bounce back off to. So for the third time, I'm going to ask you, hey, if you haven't left any feedback before, please this episode do me a solid and be like, hey Dan, you did good this time. Keep it up, my man. And I'll be like, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate that because it'll mean a lot. And if I did shit, tell me I'm shit. Tell me what I could have done better. Any constructive criticism is great. But yeah, the other issue is I don't have Bobby to wrap the podcast, so I'm gonna try my best to do so, I guess. But thank you for listening to the Frying Pan. This is your favorite pop culture podcast. I don't think I said that in the beginning, so I'll say it right now. I know most people don't listen to the outros anyways. I know I don't, but even if you do, thanks for staying this long. But we are on social media, of course, at the Frying Pan Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And if you have any business inquiries or if you just need someone to talk to, you can email us at inthepanpod@gmail.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at dandoalol. I tweet sometimes. Most of the times I tweet is to let you know when I go live on Twitch at twitch.tv/I'mDoa.lol. You can catch me there. I play a lot of games. We have a fun time. It's a lot of fun. I love doing it. Come support me there, please. Appreciate it. Or you can just follow me on Instagram at DCVRZ. I don't know. I could be better. And then you can follow Bobby. I'm pretty sure Bobby's social media now is just Robert the Mage. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram. He's a pretty funny dude on Twitter. I'd shoot him a follow over there, especially. But yeah. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, kids and brothers and sisters, dogs and cats. That's the end of the show. Why are you still here? Go do something. Get out of your car. Go to work. Have a great day. I love you. Take care, everyone.